Hello everyone. Well, I'm back on with a tutorial for the pumpkins. The best I can figure out how to tell you to do it. The first thing you need to do is get you actually when you buy a package of the mats from Harbor Freight, um, you'll get one sheet on there. It's like the cover sheet or whatever the advertisement for it. You take that and use that as the first one, and then you'll have to buy paper, or at least I do. I like to draw on the paper and get the pumpkin face like I want it before I ever try to draw it on the mat, because the ink may be hard to cover up. Well, anyway, this is the next one. So I lay it out, and one thing that I noticed that was really important when you do this, like on the top right here, you need to at least 4 inches. Don't put your face up any higher than 4, and it's really best to be more like 5 down. And the bottom is kind of the same way, except I got this one on 5. But don't put the face down no lower than 4, or you'll have problems when you do it. Now, after you get it drew out the way you want it, cut it out with a razor knife, and then lay it down on the mat and draw everything out. So the next thing is here's the mat. Well, I drew the face that I'm going to make for this one on this mat. The next thing you're going to have to do is go to the center, and it's got to be the dead center on this thing, and you draw a line straight down the center. You got to have this line to do some of your cuts. Now on the top, that line is going to go down 7 inches. Normally that's about a good depth on these things. Is on the top of it go about 7. And the cut is kind of weird, as you'll see, because you'll cut down 7, and then the first 4 of it, it'll be an inch wider on each side, and then the second 3, it'll add another inch to each side and fold it back and then start making it look like a pumpkin. Now on the bottom of this thing, I'm only going to be able to cut up to 4 because of the way that face. Every face is going to be a little different. And I guess that's the first part of how to do this. So it's time to start cutting the mat. First thing you do is go ahead and cut all the little tabs off the edges. Cut your face in the mat like what we got here. Those lines that I was talking about, the 7-inch down, and the one at the bottom that was 4. Well, this is the next step. Get you a pair of scissors, and you take it like this. Let's see, try to get it in the picture. And you bend your face in till you start to get what you like. I'm thinking, yeah, that right there's pretty good. Then I try to look about center waist and cut both of them at once, like that. So now I got the cut on. What I'll do now is I'll take and draw a line down to the center and cut that out. Okay, so I cut my notches out. Here on the top, this is how the notch cut out. Another thing you'll need to do, on one side, you need to cut one of these edges at a 45 so that when they close in, you can get the edge, the glue real tight. Same thing on the bottom. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue the first part together. Oh yeah, and one more thing. We're going to have to put 2 more lines on the side. Now, right here, what I've done, I'm like 3.5 inches in, and I think it's 5 inches down. I'd have to, let me see for sure. Well, it's 6 down on that line, and you put 1 on each side. And you're going to basically follow the same step with the scissors on these 2 lines, and also 2 more at the bottom. Now these are the same, about 3.5 in, and they're 5 inches up. And we're going to cut those and then bend them with the scissors and draw the lines. Okay, well, here's what I've got done so far. I've come into the bottom side of it, and I've glued it. So I've got that side, and here's one of the special parts about it. Okay, here at the top, I glued it about halfway up. Now, what we got to do at this point is we need to fold it. Get the scissors. We need to fold it again. We're going to repeat the same step that we just done for the first one and cut in for 2 angles like that. Okay, now draw your lines out just like you did up to the point where you stop gluing, and then glue that together. Okay, so now I got the top of it glued together too, just like this. I'm going to get it in the picture. Okay, the next step you need to do is these flaps that you left right here. You don't have to do the double cut like you did here. But here, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to bend this around till we start to get the roundness that we want. When we get that, do the same thing. Go to the center, make sure it's not going to interfere with the eye. And then cut it with the scissors. And draw those lines out and do that on both sides. Okay, so this is the top. I got the top done now. We're going to flip it over and do the bottom the same way. Get the other 2 flaps down there. We're getting closer to getting this pumpkin done. Let me show you. We got the top of it and the bottom all glued together. Now, the next thing we have to do is close the top and the bottom up. Start with the bottom. We're going to have to go in here and cut all these edges. Sorry about the camera, y'all. Cut all these edges right here at a 45. And we need to make a piece that will fit in here, and then we're going to glue that in. And we're also going to make one for the top. And if everything ain't just right like the top here is, I'm going to have to go in and trim all these lines so that they meet, so that I can put like a puzzle piece in there. And it'll also look like the little cap where the lid on the pumpkin is. Now, I've got the bottom one glued in. And on the top one, when you make it, make the stem on it. Alright, now it's time to take this thing outside. And I'm going to hit it with a heat gun. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the heat gun right in here. Sorry. And then I'm going to bend it up like that so that way we get the stem on the pumpkin. And the other thing I didn't like about it is I need to take the teeth right here because they're so much of an angle out, and I want to take the heat gun and I want to heat that up and pull it back. Now, when you're doing this, all you need to do is just get it where it's soft and then pull it back, hold it there while it cools down, and this stuff will stay. just like you left it. Well, I just got back with it from outside using the heat gun. I took and I bent the stem up. I pulled this little part of the eye. I pulled it back so that it'll lay into the eye. And then I took the bottom teeth and I heated them up and worked them in. And there we go. Don't that look cool?